Philly from Electrosonic here. So let's look at the whiteboard feature that we've got on the V7 XBoard. So if we go into the whiteboard, you'll see that down here we've got two palette options, two different colors. So I've got a stylist that is thick on the one side and thin on the other side. So I can write on the whiteboard and then choose the other color that's immediately available to me there. And if I open that up, it gives me more color options, and it even allows me to tailor the color, so I can do a custom color if I wanted to. When it comes to, I just want to make a few lines here. When it comes to erasing, there's different options for us to erase. There's one called the circle rub. So if we use this option, I can circle certain things only to delete. And then once I've selected it, it will automatically delete it. But I can also undo it again if that was a mistake. Another way of erasing is if you use the back of your hand. That also counts as an eraser. In order to go to a new page, you would just select the plus sign at the bottom here. That takes us to a new page. And if we go to insert over here, then it gives us a few options of things that we can insert, such as a table, which is very handy in a meeting scenario. So I'm just going to choose a different color pen there, and let's just write in here Durban. So I don't know if you saw what happened there, but it auto sizes the block. So even if I were to write outside of the lines, it will still auto size so that everything fits nicely into the block. Of course, you can edit the table and add more columns and more rows. That's no problem at all to do. Then we can also insert mind maps. So this we can move around, and once again we can write inside of the block there. We can then add to it however big we want to build it, and once again if I write big, it'll auto size. You can also collapse these again. So when you get to this specific page in the presentation, you can do a bit of a reveal and reveal what you've done in the background. So if we go to another clean page, we can use the file option here, and we can insert things into the whiteboard, such as PDF documents, images. So for now, I'm just gonna add an image. So let's say this one for now. So once we have an image imported, I can choose whatever color and draw something on the image. So for you as a customer, this is very handy to import images and then explain things to your colleagues. So we go to another page. I can show you the Co-Whiteboarding session. So Co-Whiteboarding allows 4 MAXHUB screens to be in the same session. So we could have literally 4 participants in different parts of the country. So let's say we had a MAXHUB in Durban, one in Cape Town, one in the UK, one here. Then we can all collaborate on the same whiteboard. So it's always just best practice to choose a color for each region. So if Johannesburg, for instance, is white, and we do this on the screen, then the other MAXHUBs will see exactly that. And we will hear what is being said on the other side, because the microphones are active, the speakers are active, and the screen, it's just not the camera that's not used when using the Co-Whiteboarding. So if we go to the next section here, it just gives us some settings. So this is just where you would choose what the back of the pen is actually going to do. So at the moment it's chosen to be the eraser, but you can always also choose that the other side of the pen is palette number 2, which is going to be the different color. So the one side of the pen will be white, for instance, and the other side of the pen will be a different color, will be red, for instance. Then if we go to these options, it's chart drawing and text recognition. So with chart drawing, if I select that, then the interactive screen will see what I'm trying to draw, and it'll just assist me to neaten up my presentation. So if I draw that, for instance, you can see that it is also making that into a triangle that looks much better. And if I write, it'll turn it into text. And that's quite handy for people with bad handwriting like myself. So I'm just going to go switch those options off again for now. And then it's also good to know that you can change the background of the board itself. So at the moment it's this gray background, but we can change that to be white. We can change it to all the options that we've got available here. So you've also got different grid backgrounds. So at the moment it's set to these blocks, which is quite handy for when you draw, because then you've got a line that you can draw on. But if you wanted it to be completely blank, you can just select that. Or if you wanted it to have lines, you can select that. If you wanted it to have these dots, you can select that. So these are all options that are available to you. Once your presentation is done, there are different ways that you could save it. So one of the ways is you could create a QR code and then allow participants in the room to scan the QR code, and then they can get the entire presentation directly onto their phones. So even when the meeting starts, you can say to them, they don't have to take notes, that notes will be made available to them, and they can literally then, we can just make this bigger, and they can scan this QR code and they will find the presentation on their phone. But you also have the option of saving it as a MAXHUB file, which is a secure way of doing things, because a MAXHUB file you can only open again on a MAXHUB screen. So if there were sensitive information that you were discussing and doing in a whiteboard, then you could save it as a MAXHUB file and open it at another branch on another MAXHUB again. Or you could save it as a PDF document or as a PNG. And remember, these panels run on Windows. So if we had to go to the Windows side, if we saved it as a PDF document, then you could simply go to your Outlook and attach it to an email, and you could send the presentation to everybody that attended the meeting, should you choose to do it that way. That's the whiteboard.